Each morning, when you open your eyes, you are presented with a sacred opportunity, a chance to start again. The sun rises not just to light the world, but to remind you that progress is born in the small moments you often overlook. Greatness does not arrive overnight. It is cultivated in silence, through discipline, through the choice to improve, even if only by 1%. The question is, what will you do with your morning? Improvement is not about transforming your life overnight. It's about nurturing the small, silent choices that slowly build the foundation of who you become. Most people underestimate what 1% means because they are trapped in the illusion that greatness must be loud and dramatic. But think of water. It does not force the rock to break in a single strike. It carves through it gently, consistently, until one day, the impossible becomes natural. That is the essence of small progress. Each morning is your chance to make that subtle improvement. You don't need to conquer the world before breakfast. You only need to conquer the moment in front of you. One page of reading strengthens the mind. One moment of stillness strengthens the spirit. One small act of discipline strengthens the will. You do not need to be extraordinary today. You only need to be slightly better than you were yesterday. That 1% may seem invisible in the mirror, but within you, something is awakening. Focus, patience, self-respect. The challenge is that the human mind seeks fast results. It wants the reward before the effort, the comfort before the growth. But when you choose to improve just a little each morning, you are training your mind to value the unseen. You are learning to trust the process rather than rush the outcome. The small steps you take daily, the choices no one sees, are the ones that define your character. Progress does not shout, it whispers. It hides in the early hour you rise, when the world is still asleep. It lives in the moments when you choose discipline over distraction, when you stay present instead of drifting into noise. The beauty of small progress is that it removes the weight of perfection. You no longer chase impossible standards. You build sustainable habits. And the more you honor these tiny victories, the more you begin to realize improvement is not a task, it's a way of being. You become someone who grows not because of pressure, but because it feels natural to evolve. That is the quiet power of 1%. Every great transformation begins this way, not with a loud declaration, but with a silent decision made every morning to show up, to improve, to grow. Your morning is not just a beginning, it is a reflection of your inner state. The way you start your day shapes the energy that flows through every action that follows. When the morning is calm, the mind becomes clear. When the morning is disciplined, the spirit becomes strong. That is why the early hours hold such quiet power. They belong to those who choose to rise with purpose. The world is still. The mind has not yet been clouded by noise. And in that space, you have the perfect chance to build yourself. Discipline in the morning is not about strictness or routine for the sake of control. It is about creating harmony between your thoughts, your actions, and your goals. When you wake up and move with intention, you send a message to yourself that you are in command of your day, not a passenger drifting through it. It could be something simple, sitting for a few minutes in silence, stretching your body, drinking water mindfully, or writing down what you wish to accomplish. The act itself doesn't matter as much as the awareness behind it. What matters is that you begin your day with presence. Each morning, You have two choices: to surrender to comfort or to strengthen your will. The bed is warm, the body is heavy, the mind whispers to delay. But the moment you rise, despite the resistance, you win your first victory. That small act, repeated daily, builds a foundation of self-trust. You start to see yourself differently, as someone who follows through, someone who doesn't need to wait for the perfect mood to take action. Discipline becomes less of an effort and more of a state of being. And as this discipline deepens, your mornings transform from routine to ritual. They become sacred moments where you realign yourself with your purpose. You no longer wake up to react to the world. You wake up to create your world. When you start your day with clarity and strength, you carry that energy into every challenge ahead. Your actions become calmer, your decisions more deliberate, and your focus sharper. The first victory of the day is not over time, not over others. It is the quiet victory over yourself. You will not wake up every morning feeling motivated. Some days, the mind will resist, the body will feel heavy, and the heart will question the purpose of it all. This is why relying on motivation is fragile. It fades as quickly as it appears. What you need instead is awareness. Awareness is steady. It is the quiet strength that keeps you aligned when emotions fluctuate. Motivation may push you forward for a moment, but awareness keeps you walking long after motivation disappears. When you begin your morning with awareness, you are not rushing to achieve. You are observing. You notice the breath as it moves in and out, the thoughts that arise, the tension that hides in your body. You do not judge them. You simply see them. In that stillness, you begin to understand yourself. Awareness teaches you what motivation cannot, how to move with clarity instead of impulse. It reminds you that every day is not meant to feel the same, yet each day still holds value. Many people chase motivation because they want to feel inspired before they act. But true progress begins when you act before you feel ready. When you are aware, you do not wait for the right emotion. You act with the right intention. You may not feel powerful, but you show up anyway. You may not feel inspired, but you take the first step. Awareness transforms discipline into something deeper, not something you force, but something you flow with. When awareness becomes your foundation, even ordinary moments become opportunities to grow. Drinking water becomes a practice of mindfulness. Walking outside becomes a lesson in presence. Breathing becomes a reminder that you are here, alive, and capable of change. With awareness, you are no longer pulled by distractions or emotions. You move with deliberate calmness. You learn to respond to life, not react to it. Each morning, before you reach for your phone, before you let the world enter your mind, take a moment to return to awareness. Ask yourself quietly, what is one thing I can do today to be just 1% better? The answer does not need to be grand, only honest. And when you live each morning with that level of awareness, you will realize that the small improvements you make are not just shaping your day, they are shaping who you are becoming. So tomorrow morning, when the sun greets you again, do not rush. Breathe. Move with intention. Give yourself the gift of 1%. One small improvement, one mindful action, one moment of gratitude. Remember, the journey of mastery is not found in what you do once, but in what you repeat every morning with presence and purpose. In these quiet choices lies the path to transformation, the path to becoming who you are meant to be.